Wow. I did not expect this movie to look this good. The thing is, um, I will say this. This you'll understand my thoughts on the Ant-Man movies when I do review them. Hopefully before this one comes out, because I did review all the MCU movies back. What year was it? Oh, it was 2020, the worst year to be human. Yeah, I reviewed all those movies and I did not do a very good job, just like the Star Wars movies, and I actually intend to go back and review them. Don't know if I'm gonna do that, but I do intend to do that at some point. Anyways, my thought was like with these movies is that I enjoy the MCU. In fact, I feel like I enjoy it more than most people now, which was the opposite feeling in 2020. You see, my thing about 2020 was we'd come off Endgame. MCU was just overhyped. Anything Marvel was just 10 out of 10 amazing. Now it feels like it's the opposite. Anything Marvel is loved by half of the people in the room, and the other 10 people in the room are just like, it's dog shit, it's horrible, And so yeah, but let me just go briefly into my Ant-Man thoughts. The first one is a boring movie. It's very bland. The villain is terrible and just a rip off of better villains within the MCU, and the movie doesn't really offer much. It's mildly funny, has a couple good jokes I like. I've seen it too many times for it to ever be a movie I ever want to watch again. Then you get to Ant-Man and the Wasp. This movie was so bad I didn't watch it in theaters, and I just didn't care about it. Then when I did watch it, I realized, holy cow, there's so many plot holes with this movie. The plot makes no sense, and these are just filler movies. Like you could argue the first Ant-Man's okay because it's able to just introduce this character. But once you get to Ant-Man and the Wasp, there is no reason that movie needs to exist. And I'm not saying every movie needs to progress the story in some way. I like Werewolf by Night. I don't think that's going to progress the story in any way of the MCU, but I enjoyed it, right? But you have to be good to justify your existence if you're not going to progress the story. And that movie didn't. And so it was a way of selling people tickets to a boring movie that's not very well put together, not very clever, not very interesting. And now we get to this movie, which, holy cow. I like what this movie is doing because you can tell Ant-Man, who's had a lot of regrets in his life. I mean, being an ex-con, losing time with his daughter, and just in the fact that he wasn't there for her when she was really young, because of the divorce and stuff. And then you get the other part of it is now she's older now, and that probably messes up the whole thing. And so that's really interesting. I like that dynamic. And so with this trailer, I am incredibly hyped for this movie. I did not expect to be that because again, I don't give a shit about Ant-Man. I think he's such a boring character. Like, why is Ant-Man like this um, big character? In the MCU in the way he is, because in the comics, like, he's a completely different character. The way they've done him in the movies is just bizarre, and it just, to me at least, of someone who understands him in the comics, and I just think that, like, not the best way to adapt this character. But I like what I'm seeing here, and I'm actually excited for this movie, which is great because there are a lot of movies coming out in February I'm excited about. But then again, I said the same thing about January, and I'm watching a crap ton of movies right now. I mean, this Friday I'm gonna try to go watch the new House Party remake, Plane, and I want to watch that new movie Sick. Like, I gotta watch a ton of stuff right now. But I'm excited. We'll see what happens with this.